Hey everybody, welcome back to 5 Tip Friday. For today's 5 Tip Friday, I am going to give you 5 tips about how I was able to get my dog prepped or ready to be a big sister. I'm talking about getting your animals ready for baby. You are bringing this little newborn human in to their world, and it can kind of cause a disaster if you are not ready and if your animals are not ready. So, got my trusty little list, and my first tip about getting, this is mostly for dogs. I found that my cats really didn't need any prep. They did kind of go along with these steps too, but this is mostly getting your dog ready for baby. So the first one is let them sniff the new things that come into the house. You are going to have so many new baby things. If this is your first, you are going to have so many new things just coming into the house. Big things, little things. Let them sniff them. Now, you can have them sniff them in the packages, but I found that once, like, the clothing, everything was out, I let her sniff everything new because I was going to wash it anyways. Like, after I washed it, she wasn't allowed to sniff it, but I just let her sniff absolutely everything that came in. If it was something big and it was sitting there, I let her sniff it all up. I would not let the cats get in it, but they didn't even really try except for a pack and play. And that's just something I could wash real quick. Because dog hair, cat hair is my life. It is all over this house. I swear my lungs are covered in it because I've been around animals my entire life. So kind of knew that my babies probably weren't going to be allergic, and thank goodness Liam isn't so far. And hopefully Nolan won't be either. But just letting them sniff things, you can wipe it down, you can wash it later. That way they're able to, that's how they understand new things, is by sniffing them. So just let them sniff all the new stuff coming in. Tip number 2 is play crying baby sounds. Now, I kind of did this a little bit late. I kind of wish I would have started it earlier, but I would go onto my phone, go onto YouTube, and find crying baby noises, like brand new baby noises. Yes, our baby would sound different than this baby that I'm playing, but they just got used to this sound. Liam was not a big crier when he was little. He's actually a big crier now, more of a screamer. But when he was little, he didn't really cry very much. But when he did, they didn't really react too much, the cats or the dogs. This one works for all animals. Just getting the noise in the house so that they get used to it. And I would do this every single day. I do it multiple times a day, and I would blare it. And I would act like nothing's wrong, or I would kind of act like, oh, baby's crying, and I would like say the word, and they'd hear the sound, and that seemed to really help once the baby got here. My third tip is give them a baby blanket that is theirs. Now this goes for dogs. I would lay a baby blanket, and I just picked one of his like muslin blankets because we had so many of them. It can be anything. And I actually got this tip from one of my mom's friends because she had a really like clingy, cuddly dog. And so she would put a baby blanket down that was just for the dog, so it smelled like him. And then she would lay the baby on his own blanket next to the dog. So then the dog knew I stay on my blanket, that baby gets his blanket, we are both getting something. And so I had a blanket that she would lay on and she would smell. And when we had the baby and the baby would say laying on the ground, I would lay her blanket next to the baby and she would lay on it. She's really good about listening, like where she can go and not, but I didn't know that was going to happen once the baby was here. So just giving them something that technically is the baby's, but it's going to be for them and only them, makes them feel included. Tip number 4 is have them involved in baby prep. Now, I'm not saying take him or her to the store when you're buying all this stuff. They're animals. But what I had Nala do, which is our dog, I'll show you guys some clips of her at the end. But I had her like lay, when I was getting stuff ready, I would let her lay in the nursery. She would just lay there. She likes to follow me everywhere I go anyways, so she was just there. If we were putting together something, she was looking at the box and sniffing everything, and she was involved as much as possible. I also had her involved with my belly. I would lay down and she would put her head on my belly. She didn't really realize, I think, that there was a baby in there. But I have noticed this pregnancy, my second pregnancy, she is very attached to me. She doesn't like to have me out of her sight. And I have a feeling it's that protective dog, like mama dog instinct, even though she'd never had puppies. But I just had her involved with as much as I possibly could so that she didn't feel like she was being neglected. Like, oh, mommy's playing with these new toys and I'm not allowed to play with them. So she was involved in everything that she could be. And I think that really helped, especially once baby was here, so that she knew she could be involved with baby as well when it came to certain things. So I really, really suggest that tip, pretty much probably out of all of them. Number 5 is make an area that's just for them so that they can get away. I've noticed that's really helpful now that my son is 18 months old and loves puppy and wants to go after her all the time. And this was really good when he was little, so that if I needed to be moving around with him and she was getting in the way, I could just send her to her spot, her area. It could be a bed that only she is allowed to lay on. It can be an area maybe upstairs away from everything, just so that they get time away. I would also give her a treat when she went up and away from everybody. I would normally do this when he was sleeping or if I really needed her away when he was awake. But when he was awake and happy and she was able to be part of everything, she didn't have to go away into her space. But there is a space that she knows is hers. We have a pillow downstairs now that she knows. We say pillow and she goes right to her pillow. And it's kind of getting hard to keep Liam away from the pillow. But at the beginning, it was really nice. We just say pillow, and she could go to her pillow, and she could get away from screaming, crying, or whatever was going on. So they like having their own space. And I really recommend getting them a pillow, something special area that's just for them. So there you have it. Those are my top 5 tips for getting your dog or animals ready for this brand new addition to your family. We have a golden retriever chow mix. I will insert pictures now or videos if I have them. And she loves Liam. From the very start, with everything that we got her ready to be a big sister, and she took to it so well. We absolutely love her. She is 4 years old now. She was about 2.5, I think, when we brought Liam home. And I have a feeling she's going to be so amazing with this new baby coming. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions at all, just leave them down below. If there's any more that you want me to explain about dogs and babies and cats and everything, just leave them down below and I will get to those. I will see you guys next week for my 5 Tip Friday. And give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Bye.